I loved what he did on the weekend. I mean, a lot of people will say, that was passion. Look, when I looked at the other game and I saw the Broncos cuddling the Titans and high-fiving and doing all that crap, laughing, and then I saw Horsburgh. I was on the sideline actually when he come off. There were only a few people in the crowd up in the stands, and they were giving it to him.
Do you know who they were? We got the text
were
message during 360. One of them, mad Parramatta fan, Vince Sorrenti.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Vince Sorrenti is up there telling jokes.
Shark!
No, what he's doing. He's going, what happened? Did you get tackled too hard? Because they were wondering why he was upset. So that's why they got the fingers.
I thought he was giving the fingers to the cardboard cutouts.
Oh, that's what
I'll tell you what, it was scary because I was sitting on the side and I thought he was going to jump the fence.
Yeah. Well, that's Blocker.
What would he have done to Vince Sorrenti?
Oh, mate.
He'd be picking his teeth with his ribs.
He would have punched the punchlines out of him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you talk about emotion. Like the Dutch soccer coach who coached Australia for all that, Hinik, he used to say all the time, you can't win anything without blokes with emotion.
Yeah.
Some people will say to Horsburgh, got to tone it down.
No way.
It's good to see.
Keep it going.
He used to look for it. He used to look for it in his team. To get the tempo of his team out of the guys with the emotion. They're the ones that drive the team. And that's a bit where you see, and this is one of the most annoying things I've ever seen in the game, is when they walk off, they've just been beaten and they get what happened out there? Oh, we got ambushed. Really? Like you knew what time kickoff was.
Yeah.
You knew that they were going to be there.
I'll tell you what I would love to say to Horsburgh, but when you're on your back...
Don't punch.
No, it's a bad idea, Matthew.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea. That's number one rule.
Mate, I get that.
I think they just stand over and just go...
Hey, before we address bigger issues... your Tigers. Madge seems to have settled what you call his number one spine. Kenty, you said last night there's been a little bit of talk of the possibility of Benji going and helping the Warriors out. No Tigers fan would begrudge that. Be a nice way to finish, although it seems like he wants to finish as a Tiger.
Yeah, he wants to just stay there, Matt. Look, Benji's got a career at the Tigers beyond playing, and I think he's well aware of that. And the first time he left the Tigers was not because he wanted to go elsewhere, it's because the Tigers basically had tapped him on the shoulder and said, time to go. And he took a roundabout way, but he got back there. And once he walked back into the joint, he just felt comfortable again. He felt, it's a cliche, but he felt at home again.
Old pair of shoes.
It was the old pair of shoes, and he just doesn't want to leave. And the other thing, that people say, well, mate, from a professional, like a pride point of view, don't you want to be playing NRL? Why don't you go and have a visit at the Warriors or wherever else? But the other part of being a professional with a little bit of pride attached is you want to fight your way back into the side.
Yeah. Do you think he's
do you
think he's a realist? But he's probably thinking.
Of course, he's a realist, mate. The one thing he's
been
been through, he's a realist. He knows that.
Josh Reynolds has been good,
but he wants to fight his way.
Well, like Josh, it's funny, and we talk about Grant every week, but it's worth mentioning this. I don't know many people that have arrived at the club and had such an impact so quick. And if you look, he missed the first 2 rounds before the swap deal was done. He's running second on the Dally Games. He's got 11 out of possible 15 points. And I reckon, like with Grant, there's a lot to be said for a kid who's got to first grade the long way around. The old-fashioned way. Abiding your time, sitting below blokes you're learning on, and honing your craft outside of the spotlight. Where, I mean, look, if he was at just about any other club, he'd have been playing first grade two years.
Would you pick him for Queensland? I would.
Yeah.
If I was picking the Queensland side, he'd be straight in there.
But the thing about it is, what we're seeing in the game a lot at the moment, clubs, I suppose through necessity, having to rush kids in, and they're just being burned early. You know, it's very, very difficult to hone your craft in that limelight, under a lot of criticism, when you're getting flogged, when you might be out of your depth a little bit. And this kid's sat behind Cameron, behind Brandon.
The other thing too is when you're coming through, you've got to have blokes that are willing to put the time in with you too. It looks like, you know, Cameron Smith and those sort of guys have spent some time with him.
The other thing is, you talk about difficult to hone your craft in first grade. It's also difficult for coaches to exercise the patience to say, you know what, he needs another 3 months playing Reggie's. I mean, we don't need to bring him up, or we're going to bring him up next year. You look at, you know, and we're going to get on to obviously the Broncos, but you look at 2 weeks ago, they asked Anthony Seibold about Tom Dearden. They said, Tom, are you going to bring him in? Because they
put him at hooker,
at that point 3 in a row, I think it was. But so Seibold comes out and goes, well, no, he's too young. He's 18. He's too young, too inexperienced to bring into a losing side.
Did it last year.
But a week later, to bring into a losing side. But a week later, they lose another game. He brings them in and puts him on the bench to play hooker.
To play hooker.
It's a bit like like a bloke like Neil Whittaker that was at the Tigers. He was the captain of the Tigers for a long, long time, and along comes a young Benny Elias. But Neil and those sort of guys were that great clubmen. They didn't get cranky or anything when a young bloke come through and they put him in. They were like, but most blokes would get their wouldn't they? Really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
But you've been there for a long, long time. All of a sudden, this superstar comes and they just go, mate, good on you. Way to go, son.
Well, blokes who have been playing a position for 10 or 12 years, they can pass on something to a young bloke in 10 or 12 sessions.
Yeah.
And that's, we've spoken about this before. Danny Medeiros was coming through the grades. Warren Ryan said, mate, you know what? You can do it 6 months under Steve Walters. Steve Walters plays the first 12 games. Walk taps him on the shoulder.
Says, this kid's ready.
And said, he's ready. Box says, thank God, because my knee's gone.
Yeah.
Before we get on the Broncos, mate,